All right, so this is a little bit of a recap. After finding a good target, your target is something that you rank in the top 40 for, but not in the top 10, in which we just did. We looked at a post or a page, and we re-optimized it a little bit, and we were on number 11, so we're very close to the top 10. But regardless of where you are, if you're getting a few hits, showed you how to find those, that's your target to re-optimize, and then you come back and you work on your title, you tweak your first and last paragraphs, and pop quiz, what did I leave out of that last video and what was missing on the page? There were no images. So I actually left out one very important thing, which was I could very easily add tons of images to that because it was long form content. There was a lot there, and I could add all kinds of images to add to the value of the page. And then I would get to do some alt text, which would talk about Wayne County, Indiana, and then supporting. Now, for every one of those images, I'm going to do a different alt text. I'm not going to spam. I'm not going to call them all Wayne County, Indiana. I will use Wayne County. I'll use Indiana. I'll use a town name in Wayne County, Indiana for the different types of alt text. For that. And if you're close to the front page or you're in the top 40 and it's for a post that doesn't have any images, that's bam zoom something you got to do. The other thing I didn't talk about was possible new content to add SEO value. There would be definitely something I could add to that page. I wouldn't do it in the first round, but in the second round I would consider doing it. Adding content on Wayne County, Indiana around that keyword. Google might think it's a little light on overall Wayne County, Indiana information, where I can kind of put in a couple of more instances of that keyword, Wayne County, Indiana. So that's what you do. You know, give it a couple of days. You got to go do a little linking, some blog commenting, things like that. And for the next 3 or 4 days or a week, when you go out and you do your blog commenting, make sure that you're leaving a link back to that particular page that you're re-optimizing right now. So you're always working on a campaign. You're always thinking about pages that are important on your site that you're working on re-optimizing now. Those are the links that you leave when you're doing comments and you're buzzing the page or the post up on social sites. That's the page. And you can have 3 or 4 of those in the air at a time that you're re-optimizing, and you just want to make sure that you're linking back to those when you're doing all your social stuff, when you're commenting and things like that, when you're getting links. We went over this again to show you in the last video. If the monthly searches are good, a page is worth doing reverse optimization on. And so what is good? Well, we talked about going and finding posts that are getting a little bit of traffic. And that's all you're concerned about. You don't care what you rank for that isn't sending you any traffic at all. You only care for the things that are not getting the average amount of traffic, for things that you do score for in the top 10 in the engines. So you're going to use that drop down list in Google Analytics, and you're looking at the top 100, 250 keywords that you rank for. Once you get established, you're going to be ranking for that many keywords, believe me. That might have looked super hyper impressive, but I guess I'm used to it. That's daily life for all of my sites. Lots and lots and lots of keyword rankings. And while not all of them send tons of traffic, when you add up all of those, it all adds up to lots of traffic. So what's good is, something that's getting you 1, 2, 3 hits a day, and then you're going to check it out on Google and see where you rank. And if it's in the top 40, that's a good candidate for reverse optimization. And this is very, very easy to do, so doing it for moderate search traffic is usually worth it. I mean, if I didn't have to explain what I was doing, I could have gotten through that whole first round of reverse optimization in 10 or 15 minutes, including that last paragraph which I needed to add, and including the images. It might take you a little longer if you don't have the database of images, but as you go along and you're creating content, there's lots of images in your gallery that you can pull out. So here's how you tell Google to take another look. You have edited your page enough that it's different. It's different in a way that's significant to Google. You want to ping your edited page with a ping service like Ping-O-Matic. Just go to ping-o-matic.com, put your URL into the form, and you just hit ping and ping all the services, and you will have just knocked on Google's door. They sit and watch the ping engines like crazy. They watch for new content, and they will come back and re-index the site. they're also going to see it in a lot of different places. I mean, remember, I'm going to go get my Facebook people to talk about it. I'm going to go do some blog commenting. So one way or the other, and in probably several different ways, Google's going to see that there's action on this page that they've seen before, but they need to look at it again. So whether they find it through Ping-O-Matic or spidering a blog that you left a comment on or whatever it is, they're going to find it. And that's how you let them know. Get links with social media. Do status updates about your updated page. We talked about that. Going and getting your Facebook, your Twitter users, any specialty social sites that you're in. Make sure people see it. And remember that you've probably got people following you now that weren't following you when you put that page up. And even so, you never ever assume that just because you announced it one time that everybody has seen your page. It's not bad to remind people to go and check out a page. Even if you think a lot of them have seen it, you're probably wrong. They probably haven't. And then get anchor links. Go around to your friends. You should have a network, and if you don't have a network, you need to start building one right away of peers in different sites that are in your market who are going for the same thing. You help me, I help you. Get those anchor links and any other sites that you control, any profiles that you have on the social web that you control. Go get those anchor links. And for this particular example, I would be focused on Wayne County, Indiana, pointing back to this URL. Watch what happens. Watch your stats. Really pay attention to the cause and effect. Remember what you did on your reverse optimizing, and then use that to change how you write future posts and pages, the titles, and how you use the images, because you'll start to hit more home runs right off the bat. You'll start to get more top 10 rankings for long tail stuff and not have to go back and reverse optimize it. It makes you a better first round writer or content producer, whatever kind of content you're putting up as you go along. So don't just do this robotically and not make notes of what it is that worked. Once you see what works for your particular market, for the types of keywords that you're trying to score for, you need to start having that affect the way that you write new stuff, the way that you put new content up. Okay, the takeaways here are your SEO gets better the first time you post, so you won't have to do as much reverse optimization in the future as you will now, as you're getting used to how to develop content that ranks. You can start going after harder rankings. Now, if you reverse optimize something once, twice, it still doesn't go up, you don't need to go back and just keep cramming keywords in or anything like that. Let all the other work and all the reverse optimization, the backtracking, all the stuff that you're doing all over your site bring up the value of that particular page that you're having a hard time getting in the top 10. After a certain point, you don't want to keep messing with a page. I wouldn't go past 3 rounds of tweaking here and there, moving titles around, moving the keywords here and there. That's the end of that process. The only thing that doesn't end is you can always get more links to that page. But remember that all the work that you're doing on all the pages of your site is improving the value of your site in Google's eyes, the relevancy, the juice that Google gives your site. And that page has been worked on, that particular one, enough. And that once your whole domain starts to raise up in rankings, different other pages on the site, and you start putting links back to this particular page that you're having a hard time with from other posts that are popular that are in the top 10, you'll get that page on the top 10. You just have to wait, and you have to keep working on the rest of your site. You know more about how Google thinks. And it's very simple. It's a very cause and effect kind of thing, and the whole process is so simple. You can easily keep track of everything that you're doing, and then maybe for my example post, that I'll move up from number 11 to number 8, and I'll go, okay, so I did all of these little things, and it got Google to go from 11 to 8. I can do another round, maybe do a couple more tweaks, but definitely get more links, and see my next goal would be to move up above number 5 or above the fold, which is what you see on Google when you do a search without having to scroll down. That's the sweet spot in Google. Your site starts getting a lot more traffic with a lot better rankings for the content that you already have. It's just worth repeating. You're going to do some reverse optimization on a lot of your stuff, and you're going to have to leave it. And whether it gets to the top 10 or not, you're going to continue to do this kind of stuff for all of the content on your site, and that's going to raise the value of your entire site, and it's going to help pull up pages that you're having a harder time getting into the top 10 for.